are now headed to Poverty Point State Park. Where are we? Are we passing Vicksburg?
This is Vicksburg.
Is this still the Mississippi River?
This is Mississippi River.
And we're in Vicksburg?
Yes. Just crossing Louisiana.
We're crossing back over into Louisiana?
Yep.
That old bridge. That bridge isn't in use anymore, it looks like. So we have sour cream, tomatoes, black olives, onions, taco shells, cheddar cheese, and shredded lettuce. And then we're going to have our leftover tamales and salsa. Tacos for dinner. And then the taco shells. And we're heating up the tamales from yesterday. I like mine crunched up on a plate. Fred likes his in the shell. Okay, so now we are in the parking lot of the marina. It is a beautiful night, and it's cooled down quite a bit from this rain. Do you know what is inside that building right there? There must be some event here tonight because there's a crap ton of cars. Bunch of people in there. That's the visitor center. Poverty Point Visitor Center, I guess.
And they must have some kind of event.
Oh yeah, it's very crowded on the inside of that public room. This is a beautiful park. Louisiana has done an excellent job with this park. So this is Poverty Point Reservoir. It's 8. So I guess they have these little cabins that you can rent. And you can see you park alongside the road and then you walk across the water to get to the little cabin. They're really cute. They have a nice little deck on the front where you could fish off of or enjoy the lake. They even have a little boat dock. The boat dock looks really nice. Beautiful sky this evening. Here are more cabins. Several speed bumps in the road. Very nice little places to rent. Beautiful reservoir. So this is a typical evening inside the Rover. We finished dinner and the dogs are in the air conditioning, and so am I. Fred had to make another trip to the store to get a few things. Lucy and Lily are enjoying the window.
Except for water.
Trying other products is what made us finally go to Leaf Filter.
And Leaf Filter's lifetime
These are our beds.
warranty makes it an extraordinary value.
Leaf Filter's going to make my home more valuable, especially when I go to sell it.
Our 833 Leaf Filter, or go to getleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection and estimate. Call and log on today and save 15%.
We pull people off the street and ask them about their mark.
Quite comfortable in here. There's a door on each side, so we don't have to climb over each other to get out.
Driving a car, you have to check engine light, but the heart doesn't have a Haiti check mark sign. I'm going to show you something. The book papers, right on those pads. There you go. In 30 seconds, we're going to have a medical.
And these mattresses are pretty comfortable.
With CardioVocal, the FDA-cleared personal EKG device, you can take a medical-grade EKG in just 30 seconds from anywhere. CardioVocal is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke. How much do you think this device costs?
Good morning. So yesterday we took down our camp at Riverview RV Park in Valdelia, Louisiana, and we drove to Poverty Point State Park. We are still in Louisiana, and we are about 40 minutes outside of Vicksburg. This is really the closest RV park I could find to Vicksburg. There was one that was associated with a casino, but they are still closed due to COVID. There was another one that had really bad reviews, and then we had this one. So we do have a little hike into Vicksburg, 40 minutes to be exact, but I think this is going to be a great RV park. We only got here yesterday, but so far I love our campsite, and I will show you around in a second. Maybe even be able to put the drone in the air. But we are in black bear habitat, and you can see behind me there's nothing but woods. As a matter of fact, there are woods all around us, so we are 5 feet from the woods in 3 directions, and of course this direction is the road, but on the other side of the road is more woods. So we are very secluded here. It's really nice. I love it. We did leave the lights on all night outside just as a little safety measure, but the bathrooms here are fantastic. Fred said his restroom wasn't air conditioned, but mine was, and the showers were great. You know, you learn as you go to these different RV parks. You know, we're newbies to this camping scene, but you learn what you like and what's important to you, and an air conditioned bathroom is important. So the first RV park we went to, we didn't know that that was important at the time, but you know, we were in the restroom. It was really hot and muggy when you're taking a shower. I mean, it was great to have a shower, but it was hot. And Riverview RV Park, they had the air-conditioned restrooms, and we thought, oh my gosh, this is great. So, and then this one has them as well, but this restroom is even better than Riverview RV Park. So we will be touring Vicksburg today, but tomorrow I would imagine we're going to venture out into this park a little bit and maybe put our raft in the water. But this is looking like a pretty large RV park, very well maintained, with very large secluded sites. So what we've seen so far, we're very pleased. This morning for breakfast we're going to have blueberry bagels with blueberry cream cheese. Let me show you around our site a little bit. So it is 7 o'clock in the morning. very spacious here. Oh, check out this sign. Let's see if I can get... Black bear habitat. Do not feed wildlife. So, that's interesting. And then we have the woods. That big black tent that you see there, that is my restroom / changing room. I keep my duffel bag with all my clothes in it, and I also go to the restroom in there in the middle of the night. It's nice to have that handy. Well, you see, when I say we are secluded, we are secluded. This is a great campsite. Oh look, Fred's about to get up. Maybe we can see him roll out of the camper this morning. I think he's trying to get it unlocked. There he comes. Here is the Poverty Point State Park restroom facility. It's very cold in here, which is great in July. The restrooms here. And then they have showers in the back, which I used last night, and the water pressure was great. These restrooms are very clean. The restroom facilities. I also have some kind of little kiddie area. So this space right here is space number 43. So our space is down that road. We're actually in 48. If you like to be right across from the restroom, 43 is a great space. To me, spaces 43 through, I don't know, 49 or so are the best in the whole park because they back up to these woods. The other spaces don't do that, as you could see from the drone. They're a little bit more on top of each other. It's still nice. You can see, I mean, they still have space between. You can see the empty pad in the RV to the right of it. There's still space, but it's not near as shaded, and it is more crowded in there than along this back road. So our spot is just down this road a little ways. This is spot 44. This is a nice spot too, but you can see spot 45 is like right on top of them. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the RV through the trees. So this is lot 44, and lot 45 is right beside lot 44. I cannot complain with our lot 48. I would highly recommend lot 48. Then there's walking trails. I guess that's a walking trail, it looks like it. With a warning for black bears. One thing about campers is most people have dogs that I see. It's a great way to be able to bring your dogs along with you.
We don't have a microwave, but we do have a little toaster oven that gets quite a bit of use. Fred, here's your bagel and cream cheese. I mean bagel and yogurt.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Look at the interior of the barrel. Rifled guns will have a series of ridges that spiral toward the back of the barrel, while smoothbores will have none. Another major difference in the guns was the metal used to make the barrels. All of the green guns you see in the park are made of bronze or iron. To tell the difference, just remember that bronze turns green with age. And if there's any doubt about the ability of the federal gunners to hit the Great Redoubt, a Confederate fortification marked by a tall granite monument some 650 to the west, most of the guns of de Gaulier's battery could hit targets from 1600 to 18 on the Confederates day and night, but they only served
1,600 to 1,800 yards away,
severely wounded
they could
him.
hit their target.
And although he survived to see the surrender of Vicksburg
That's a
on
long
July
way.
4th, 1863, he did not see the final triumph.
I bet when these were new, they were beautiful. You can see how it's patinaed. You can see the copper color underneath it. That is beautiful. I think I can touch one. Oh yeah, could you imagine shooting one of these things? Oh, you know it had to have a huge recoil. That's amazing to be up close to that. It's kind of pointed to that house. It's amazing. So this is the Shirley House. Apparently they owned 25 slaves, but they did take the side of the Union Army.
That conflicted with the raw Confederate. Shirley's lives would change forever. James and daughter Alice found themselves trapped in Clinton, Mississippi, and separated from the rest of the family when Union soldiers cut the railroad running to Vicksburg. Home alone was son Quincy, and life found herself defending her.
Fred's cousin Terry's came to meet us today. Terry, where are you from?
The Confederates ordered it burnt down.
Where's Terry from? It's a video.
To complete the task. But Adeline Shirley, unwilling
Where's Terry from?
to go up without a fight, begged the soldiers not to, delaying
Greenville,
that
Mississippi. So he was nice enough to come and meet us. I think he drove about an hour to get here. We're going to spend the day with Fred's cousin.
too dangerous. That's the Shirley House and extended to the 3rd Louisiana Redan, one of forts guarding the old Jackson Road into Vicksburg. The Union soldiers made quick progress, reaching the point of the Redan in a matter of weeks. Not content to stop there, they continued on with a tunnel 40 feet long and directly underneath the men of the 3rd Louisiana Infantry Regiment manning the fort. On June 25th at 3:30 in the afternoon, the front of the fort erupted in a geyser of dirt and smoke. The federal
You gonna go up those stairs? What do you mean it used to be the Mississippi?
River changed course.
So that used to be the Mississippi River?
Yep.
So what is this?
It's a Union gunboat that patrolled the river on the siege of Vicksburg.
This is a Union gunboat?
Yep. And it was sunk and not found until very recently. Right, Terry? And they tried to rebuild it.
Where'd they find it at?
Buried in the Mississippi River.
You just realize how much the river changes from year to year to year. So
Why does it change? The water? Just the water?
water level. 2011 we had the really bad flood. The next summer the water was 60 foot lower in the river than it was the year
What was
before.
that? 60
A lot of
feet?
times when the river gets extremely low, there's a lot of people go out on the river on the sandbars and stuff and actually find dinosaur bones that's washed up. You know, the river's changing so much, but it's not uncommon to find dinosaur bones out there.
Unfortunately, the museum is closed right now due to COVID-19.
Hey, who put that window down? Who put the window down?
It's like, hey,
Put this window down. You did, didn't you? I know you did, Lily.
the dogs rolled the window down.
Yeah.
You can see the paddle on this riverboat. River gunboat. This is the Union Cemetery. See all the little markers. That goes up the hill here as well. You know, you take a second to look at this and to think about what you're actually looking at. You know, it doesn't matter what side this was, the Union side or the Confederate side, it just doesn't matter. These are all Americans, and these are their graves. Look at how many of them. It's terrible. All those young boys buried there. You know they were young boys. Probably 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. All of the young boys. Oh my gosh. Having two boys myself, my heart just breaks looking at this. This is beautiful up here. But what a vantage point this would have been, right? Wow. And the Mississippi River, it does change course like Terry was talking about a few minutes ago. I guess this was the old Mississippi River. So we are touring the Mississippi Delta. Look at this farmland. It is everywhere. I have never seen so much farmland. This is soybean that we're looking at here. And then over here, more soybean. But we were just passing acres and acres and acres of cotton plants. And then also acres and acres of corn. But that's soybean over here. I mean, the plants look healthy and lush. This is more soybean. Wow. It's just amazing. And this just goes on forever and ever. So this is the Mississippi Delta, and I guess the Mississippi Delta is very flat. Is that right, Fred?
Yes.
And it's been flooding lately. I guess there's some kind of like a levee that they need to have built, and it's very political here. I guess it costs a lot of money for the Army Corps to come in and build it. So you see signs everywhere about build the dam or build the levee. What does it say?
Pump.
The pump.
They
want it pumped out. They want the water pumped. This is more soybean. And then corn in the background.
driving through, what's the name of the town that we're going to?
Greenville.
We're going to Greenville. We're going to his cousin's house, and he lives near the Mississippi River, and we're going to go on his boat, and he's going to give us a little tour from the water of the Mississippi River. So we're really excited about that. But again, I mentioned a second ago about the farmland. We are still, it's been 20 minutes or more, and we are still driving through farmland. I have just never in my life seen so many crops of acres and acres of crops of food, the corn and the soybean, and then we also just passed a huge field of sunflowers. I've never seen a field of sunflowers. It was beautiful. It was just amazing to see all this food and see how healthy it looks.
I'm sure these farmers get up way before daylight, their tractors and other machines, and work in their fields until dark every day.
And what do they say? Nobody ever really appreciates the farmer.
Exactly right. Canoe trip on that river.
So we are by the shore of the Mississippi River. The dogs are having a great time playing right here by the shore. And in goes the boat. Fred is backing it in the water. So this boat ramp was built in the early 1900s.
In the early 1900s, I don't know the exact date.
And it was built to load cotton off of the Mississippi River. This is where they loaded their cotton off the barges. That's a big ass motor he's got on that bass boat.
The front end is so low, they've already loaded that in, working on the back end.
And they're loading soybeans.
Now that barge will not leave the Mississippi River. I mean, that's not for the ocean.
That's not, but it could be going somewhere where they offload it onto another boat that does go.
And what is that smoke?
That's actually dust off the van. It gets lower, it's not very smoky.
You can see the guys up there working in that. So what is this, Terry?
This is the Mississippi Marine Dry Dock facility where they bring towboats in or barges. They lift them up out of the water and they repair any underwater damage or anything that's been done to the towboat or the barge.
So it's a barge or towboat repair shop, basically.
That's correct.
On the water.
Yeah.
These things are huge.
Yeah. See that tug is actually, completely dry. You see it sitting on big old blocks of wood up under there where they're working on the bottom.
Oh, I see that. They've just lifted it up out of the water.
They'll sink that and float it out.
Very efficient.
Yep. It's getting ready to start moving grain really soon.
So those are tugs?
Yeah, they're tugs. that actually push the barges up and down the river.
Now, Terry, does the crew live on board?
They don't live on board except when they're on the river.
And what did you tell me back at your house about how the delta and how the crops are so important for this area?
Well, it's our main economic stimulator here. You know, if it's a good crop year, then the economy's good. If it's a bad crop year, it affects everything. It's a trickle-down effect.
And is that just the Mississippi Delta? Is that what that is?
Yes. Well, it's our, yeah, we're in the Mississippi Delta here, so that's what affects our stuff. Largest river in the world. We're in 88 foot right now. Amazon is the largest, Yin Yang in China is the second, and Mississippi is the third.
And this is a real working river.
Oh yeah, yeah, big time. Thousands of barges go up down this river every year.
I'm sure there's some big catfish in this part of the river.
There's some monster catfish down here, Freddie. People catch 40, 50 pounders all the time and don't think very much about it. Before anybody really gets excited, it's got to be 70, 80 pounds.
Now, what would they fish for? What kind of bait would they use?
Most people use cut bait.
Dead fish?
Well, we like a shad called a skipjack. It's the absolutely best bait you can use. Or just, you got to catch them. They're a little predatory species, but the fish seem to like them a lot. Even the flatheads, the yellow cat, they're really like the skipjack shad.
Now, this house here.
Okay, so what is this, Terry?
This is Tropicana Casino right here. It used to have a boat. You see the walkway where all the iron is and the rust and stuff. They used to have a floating boat here. And then they passed the ordinance that it didn't have to be floating anymore. It just had to be located inside the levee of the Mississippi River. So they did away with the boat and they made the landlocked.
But you can see the watermark on here.
Yeah, you can see where the water's been in the parking lot almost up to the casino.
And you say it stays underwater a good portion of the year?
It did the last 2 years for sure. For sure.
Fred's cousin's house, Terry Bates. He lives in Greenville, Mississippi. And we have to go back to Poverty Point Reservoir in Louisiana. So we are traveling through Arkansas to get there. Didn't know we'd be in Arkansas this trip, but we are. So for this trip, we're going to be seeing, of course, Florida, and then Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama a little bit, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Seeing quite a few states this trip. After a long, super fun day, we came back to the campsite and I made a tuna noodle casserole. So it has cheese, tuna, noodles, peas, celery, onions, cream of mushroom soup, and a little milk. Can't wait to dig in. Yay for camp cooking. So how is it, baby?
Delicious.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thank you. I think these guys are trying to get into my restroom. My God. Oh. I just saturated my tent with Raid.
Oh, son of Coach Charlie drives an 87 Harley, sells gasoline and what you drink 8 to 3 a.m. Got a tattoo for the cold, and that's wife number 4. Humming along, schooling you on the songs on his station. He could be another one cussing the government, nobody smiles. Got 100 reasons not to, but he's the poster child for happy is, as happy does. Grab a 6-string, find a rope swing, hang a palm tree in your truck, drink a beer, just because. Still a slow dance in a rainstorm and a kiss from who you love. Laugh and live with a half-full cup. Yeah, happy is as happy does. Some find it in the scripture, or a Polaroid picture, or flip a coin, head you're going to Tucson, Arizona. But it damn sure ain't in the looking back on the stuff you never did. Sometimes you're gonna feel that, but life is better when happy is as happy does. Grab a 6-string, find a rope swing, hang a palm tree in your truck, drink a beer, just because. Still a slow dance in a rainstorm and a kiss from who you love. Laugh and live with a half-full cup, 'cause happy is as happy does. She's a long way from the old her and this mountain diving boulder. Every pickle jar, crinkle dollar takes her another mile high. Happy is as happy does. Grab a 6-string, find a rope swing, hang a palm tree in your truck, drink a beer, just because.